search or suggested video. These are the two conflicting YouTube strategies that have YouTube coaches and creators just on edge trying to figure out what the heck is the best way for me to be using this YouTube thing so that I can build a brand and a business. We're gonna talk about how I've done both, what my current strategy is, and what is working across the board for creators of different kinds so that you can understand what success looks like for you and your kind of business so that you can make the right kind of content with the right strategy to turn people into leads and dollars. By the way, my name is Desiree and that's what I do. I help you use video to convert your viewers into leads and dollars. Now, the first thing I want you to do when you're really thinking through this strategy is remember a plan is the most important thing that you're going to need. So go grab my free content planning worksheet that I have for you down the bottom. Whether you go with a search or a suggested strategy, the content plan is going to be necessary for you to execute on your vision and your goals. So I want to tell you a story so that you have context about how this works. And I really want you to stay through because this is worth it because it explains why I am talking about this and where this is. So for context, let's really make sure you understand what is the point of my business and how do I make money. I am a YouTube creator to help get leads to my agency all in one social media. That's how I got here. That is how I started back in August of 2017. I started answering questions that everyone had about social media and things like that. And I continued to do that for 5 years. Okay, I focused very much on a search-driven strategy. How to do things was like my bread and butter. And what happened from all of this is that I solved a crap ton of people's problems. And it was anything from like how to use social media, how to build a strategy, how to create great content that converts, all the way down to things like how to do specific things in the platform, like how to create a Facebook page, how to create an Instagram account, how to use LinkedIn, how to use Facebook Marketplace, how to do all of these things and features that people tended to search for so that I could position myself as a social media expert. And it worked. It worked wildly well. I was able to get my channel up to like 110,000 views per month. I was having massive subscriber growth. And there was this really great like revenue stream that was coming from it. I have brand sponsorship partnerships. I was doing really great with affiliate marketing. All these things were happening. But then 2022 kind of hit and there was a fundamental foundational change in what was working on YouTube. And what YouTube wanted people to do is to build a relationship with its viewers. It's always wanted that first and foremost. That's why like vloggers are so wildly successful. That's why people love watching like Sarah Dietschy and Catherine Manning and all these other, Aaron on Demand because they can connect them personally and then they talk about this other business stuff as well. So when we're talking about what YouTube wanted to see is they want more relationship-based content and they were removing the priority of search-based content and integrating in more content that worked best within the platform, which is when our era of like the browse or suggested era has come into place. In order to grow as a YouTuber, this is a very important word, in order to grow as a YouTuber, you need to show up in suggested. I'm gonna say that again because I wanna make sure it's like big and clear in your mind. If you want to be a YouTuber, you need to show up in suggested. So the reason that I'm really digging into this difference of being a YouTuber is maybe your objective is not to be a YouTuber. My objective is still to be a business professional, a service provider, but YouTube is a pretty big part of what I do with my business. So I am having to figure out how to toe the line of accommodating a search-based strategy so that business professionals, especially people who are over the age of like 35, are able to find me because of the problems I can solve for them, while also playing a YouTube game of showing up in suggested because I want to be on people's home feeds so that they can connect with me personally and continue to do this. Because while the service in business is a big part of my revenue, in fact, it makes it probably about 40% of it, I still have other aspirations within my business, including selling digital products, maybe making a course, encouraging people to sign up for my affiliates, encouraging people to watch my videos because I have brand sponsorships attached to it. So I have these two worlds that I am towing. And I think this makes me very uniquely qualified to talk about the strategy that you should be using for your business that works for you. So I want to talk about the search one first because that one is like, I think kind of like where we sit from an old strategy into this new one. Search is still a totally valid strategy, 100%. And my example for this is going to be with my good friend Karen Carr. My friend Karen Carr has built a business as a real estate agent, solving the problems that people who are trying to figure out if they should move to Savannah, Georgia to see if like that's where they want to live. So she has a whole YouTube channel called Georgia Coast Homes with Garen Carr. She even has a team now that helps support her on her YouTube channel, and she grew it. She not only did she grow a YouTube channel pretty steadily, but she has grown I think at this point, like an 8-figure real estate business because of what she has done with YouTube. And it's solving the problems, the questions that people are searching for when they're trying to figure out if they should move to Savannah, Georgia. Because you have to think, if someone is wanting to buy a home, they're wanting to know about an area. They're wanting to know about what it's like to be somewhere. They're wanting to know what it, like the goods, the bads, the uglies are of being somewhere. They want to know about neighborhoods. They want to do tours. There's all these really specific things people are searching for to get answers. People are just not on YouTube and all of a sudden they're like, hey, there's a video on my suggested feed about Georgia. I should watch it and then move to Georgia. Like, that's not how that works, right? So when you run a business, if you can create content that is searchable, not just on YouTube, but Google, because Google owns YouTube. So you have the power of the 2 biggest search engines on the internet. If you have those working for you in your favor to help you, you're gonna be able to maximize the potential of what happens here. And what's really great if you do this smart is that you can not only tap into the search function for your videos, but you can then take those videos and repurpose them to a more search intensive, keyword driven blog post that you put on your website that can reinforce your content. Because maybe it doesn't show up as a video search because maybe there's other people, but you definitely could show up in a blog post very micro niched into like the area that you service. So let's give you context maybe like outside of real estate, because real estate seems to be like the big fancy one. Let's say that you are an electrician, right? You're an electrician that serves a specific county or a segment of a state. And you're like, okay, I want to answer questions that I get asked or I see or problems that happen all the time in electricity. So I'm going to identify like what are the top 10 to 15 questions that I get asked all the time, or the top 10 or 15 jobs that come to me the most. So maybe it's like my electricity won't turn on, or I need a home house generator, right? So by being able to identify like that information, you can create videos based on that topic, based on the things that people search for. Now, I'm not going to go into like how to find the keywords or the titles. I have another video that you can watch in the cards right now that can kind of walk you through that strategy. But it's important to know that a search-based strategy is a totally valid one, especially if you are a business professional servicing a specific area, right? So if you are trying to really niche into this like segment and like build something there that people can work, that'll work for you evergreen and long form, this is where you want to live. Now, we need to go to the other side of this with YouTube. Having a suggestion and browse-based strategy is also perfectly valid. But here are the caveats in which this exists. One, if you are an entertainment-based creator, if you are a lifestyle-based creator, if you are a creator that does something that is not location or service dependent. Okay, so because of what I do with all-in-one social media, yes, I'm solving the problems that people have around social media, like how to do something with a strategy or a tool feature, but I'm also trying to connect with people who are on the platform that might be interested in learning more so that I can sell some other stuff. I also think that search is important when it comes to like a service versus suggested is like, hey, I just have everything else but a physical service. Like this could be a mastermind, this could be digital products, this could be a course, this could be affiliates, sponsorships, all that kind of stuff. Like that is what lives over here in our suggested feed. Now, what suggested content looks like is not keyword driven. It's not how-to driven. It's not problem solving driven. What it is it's topic of interest driven. So if you came to this video because you're interested in this topic and you found it like on the home feed of YouTube, or maybe when you were watching one video and it showed up underneath on the phone or on the side of your YouTube channel, it's because this content is something that would interest you based on what your previous track history has been on YouTube. When I did a video recently that's called My YouTube Channel is Dying, This Sucks, that exploded for me. That went like what my version of viral is. And viral is like, it's like 3 times more traffic than you usually get. That went viral for me. It was very interesting because I was getting such really great engagement and comments, or people were so grateful to like, I'm so glad someone's sharing the ugly side of this and why this isn't working, da. But then the following week, I did something that was more search driven, which is end your videos like this. And it's performing the same way my videos tend to perform. Still on my curve as I'm doing this correction for my channel, but it was performing like 8 out of 10. Like it was not performing great as far as like YouTube standards work. I have to remind myself, the point of this video isn't to be successful right now, it's for it to be successful for you long term. I want you to use this in in your strategies. I want you to use this in your drip campaigns. I want you to send this to your customers who are trying to figure out how to make video content work for them, right? So it's really playing that line. So when you're talking about a browse and suggested based strategy, it's really about how can I pop up on a home feed? How can I be awesome and cool and fun now? How can I get people's attention based on what they might be interested in? How can I maybe be sensational or topical or just like a little bit clickbaity to get that attention? These are like, so when I talked about who these two businesses serve, you have to think which one are you and how do you make them work? Now, my full intention is to toe both lines. My intention is to show up in browse and suggested because I still have YouTube specific financial streams that are connected to it that I'm tapping into. So I'm still having that strategy, but I am pairing it with the how-to search-based strategy by taking these sensationalized attention grabbing videos and turning them into searchable content that I can repurpose for my blog on my website. And that is how I am towing both of those lines. So if you want to know how I toe the line and find the balance between being a service provider and a YouTuber, watch this video right here where I break down my income streams and how I make this work and what I made in 2022 alone.